Hello and welcome to the house of Valentina. I'm Valentina and today we are hanging out in my bedroom because I thought it'd be really fun to share with you some designer tips on how you can fix your bed like a designer. And I wanted to go over some of these, just these little small things that I do. We did a video a few weeks ago about just some bed fixing hacks, and we're gonna be taking that up to the next level. I'm gonna really share with you kind of the fundamentals based off a lot of the questions that you guys asked us in the comment section of that video. I wanted to do a follow-up and answer a lot of those questions about some of the fundamental things that we're doing, some of the folds that we do. Those were a lot of the things that you were kind of asking from that. So we're excited to be able to share our tips and tricks with you, and I hope that you will love them. We hope you'll hit subscribe, give the video a big thumbs up, and I want to also thank Boll & Branch for being our video sponsor. We'll get more into that in a few minutes, but when you fix your bed and when you do this for yourself, you really are, it really is an act of self-care. It really is this moment in this thing that you do for you. You're the only one that's gonna be sleeping in your bed. And so I hope that what I'll be able to do is really just encourage you and inspire you to create a moment with your bed that just gets you excited about crawling into bed at night and being excited about your bed when you get up in the morning, and some simple things that you can do that'll help it just feel super chic and sophisticated and beautiful. And it'll really just, think about it. It's the last thing you see as you go to bed and the first thing you see when you get up. So I really believe that it can really set your mood for the day, and it's one of those things that just is really important. So I hope you will think so too. And yeah, so let's dive in, shall we? As you guys know, if you've been following for a while, I work as a designer in the Atlanta area, and one of my favorite things to do is to fix the bed. I just love it. I work in real estate and design, so a lot of times we're staging homes or we've just finished a room makeover, and what I found is that a lot of times people just struggle with how to put all the pieces together. So I really kind of wanted to dissect things a little bit more here. So one of the things that I really like to do is I really like to mix materials. So today I've got a mix of materials. In fact, maybe I should just show you what I've got. Okay, so Boll & Branch has sent me an incredible sateen set of sheets. These are quite possibly the softest sheets I've ever touched in my life. I don't know how they do it. They're made of 100% organic cotton. They are breathtaking and they feel like silk. They are so soft. And what I love about Boll & Branch is that they're really focused on really giving you a top quality luxury material, but it's still really affordable. I love the fact that these are just gonna get softer and softer with every single wash. I know because a few months ago they sent me another set and I have just been enjoying them so much. I did want to stop for just a moment and thank Boll & Branch once again for being our video sponsor and for also sending us all these beautiful products that we get to share with you. If you've seen anything that you want to be able to check out for yourself, they've given me a discount code for our House of Valentina family. You can get 15% off with my discount code. I'm gonna flash it up on the screen, but I'm also gonna have it down in the description box so you can make sure to find it. My code is Valentina15. If you go to Boll & Branch, you'll be able to get 15% off of your purchase off their best promo that they're having. Some exclusions may apply, but you'll find all the details over on the website. Thank you again to Boll & Branch for sending us so many beautiful things. Now let's chat some more about some other subtle things that I'm doing that I think are how to really create that designer look in your space. This set is their signature sheet set. And what I love about it is this is what's so fun, is when you're putting together your own signature style, you can take pieces like these and really create something that's really you. So as you think about layering up your bed, think about the pieces that really just speak to you. Right now, I am so into these sort of warm, taupey kind of colors. Let me check the color. This is Dune. Wanted to make sure you guys know exactly what I've got here, okay? So this is the Dune color. So when you think about layering up your bed, it's really important to add beautiful layers that really do a great job. Because for me personally, I like to have a more minimal aesthetic with my bed because I'm a busy mom. I've got 3 kids, a dog, a husband. I'm running my businesses. I'm busy. I don't have time to do complicated things with the bed. I need it to be fixed with a couple shakeouts, a couple little folds, and fluff the pillows and off I go. And so I really focus in on making sure that the layers that I use are really, really good. And you can also make sure that the colors that you choose, they go with your room, they go with your feel. And I think it's really great because you can really mix these up. You could change this up with a different sham. You can change this up with a different duvet, a different blanket, and you can give yourself multiple looks literally year after year, because these guys are, this is top quality. This is gonna last you for a lifetime. And that's a pretty big claim, but what I have found is that it really is true. So I've got these. When I'm piling things on the bed and you're layering things up, you have a couple options for how you do the pillows at the head of the bed. So personally, I have two favorites. Again, I'm a bit of a minimalist, especially with my bed. I really like it to be simple. So you could just stack them one on top of each other like this. And I like to put the sham on top because it tends to be, I tend to not sleep on the sham because then I have something that's not wrinkled that I can fix the bed with in the morning. So I want to layer up with the pillow on the bottom. This is the one I've been sleeping on for literally, it's been a week. So you can see here how it does get a little bit wrinkled, right? You can see where my head has been. It's been wrinkled. So what I'll do is I will take, if I'm laying it down, I'm gonna put that bit to the back where you won't see it as much. And then I'm gonna cover it up with the sham. And this one actually has a little zipper on it, so I'm gonna turn that this way so the zipper's to the back. And then I've got just a really beautiful look right here. Now, sometimes this can show quite a bit of wrinkle. That's just natural when you actually use your bedding. And obviously you guys know from past videos that I love to iron my bedding, but I can't iron it every single morning. I mean, that'd be great. But yeah, I'm not living that life. So this reality life is one where I need something that's a lot simpler. So what I'll do is I will also take them and sit them upright, and that wrinkle a little bit, I'll put to the bottom. If I'm sitting it upright, so that then it's all hidden away. Okay, so this sham comes from the window pane duvet set. So I love the fact that you get the matching shams and the matching duvet. This is one of those products that I have not seen sold anywhere else. And what's so cool about it is that even on the duvet, it's got the window pane. It's like a quilt with a duvet. And so I really, really love just that incredible little pattern that's so intricate in it. I love the fact that they turned it into a duvet, because normally you would need a blanket or a quilt and then the duvet on top, but they put them together into this one product, and I'm just freaking out over it because now I'm adding another key element, which is texture and a very faint pattern, because I like to have things that are really classic and will really last. So I would avoid big patterns myself, but it has a really subtle pattern that this is never gonna go out of style. It's so classic, it's so perfect. So then what it does is it also saves you money because you've got the shams and the duvet in one set, and that's a great way to be able to purchase. But I really love it. For now, it only comes in 2 colors, but I'm giving it a shout out. I would love to have this in like a cream or maybe a taupe. Yeah, but I think that the great thing about the white is that it's so crisp and it's so classic that you would just always be able to use this. And I think that's really important when you are layering, to purchase the kind of items like this that will really just take you year after year, and it lasts you forever. And I think that's really important. The other thing that I've also layered on my bed is this incredible chevron bed blanket. Wow, it's really giving me hotel vibes. I really get cold at night. I need a lot of layers on the bed, but then my husband doesn't. So what I try to do for myself and for my clients is really think through being a little bit more practical about how you actually layer your bed up. So beautiful sheets, feel super soft, a warm blanket on the base level, but this isn't a super heavy blanket. So it's perfect because what'll happen is my husband will double the duvet over on top of me, and that's perfect for him. So I like to really layer that bed up with things that are practical. It needs to be something that really works with your life and works with those who are sleeping in the bed. That's what I think is so fun, is this is really all about creating something that's your personal style, your signature style, and then doing it with things that are really great core pieces that will really just help you year after year, just really maintain an easy, simple system that will really just enhance your daily life. So yeah, so then we get down to the duvet, and I've already mentioned how much I love this piece. I love having a duvet on the bed. It adds a little bit of dimension, it adds a little bit of texture. So I've mixed materials like we said in the beginning. I've got something that's super soft. I've got the cotton here with the blanket, and then I've got a completely different texture. Even though these are all organic, I love that it's organic cotton. I love that so much. They're all cotton, but they're all being used in different ways with the different sheens. And so it gives this sort of effect of just really layering things on, really utilizing textures. And this duvet is one of those items. If you sleep hot or if you sleep cold, think about the kind of insert that you put into this. That'll really help you not to need too many things on your bed, but to either be warm enough or cool enough when you sleep. So that's another little key little hack that, yeah, I definitely think through when I'm setting a bed for my clients, especially. For myself, I kind of know what I need, but for them, those are the kinds of questions that I ask them. That way I make sure we're setting the bed that they're gonna actually use. So one of the things that you guys asked me about in my last video was I did this little fold, and you were like, can you do that closer? Can we have more details? Okay, so I'm gonna chat with you about how specifically I've actually done some of these folds. So one of the things that I always do is that I always take the sheet and I take it all the way up to the top. And you can see here where this is kind of bent down. So I think you can, hopefully you can see better now. So one of the things that I'm doing is I pull this all the way up, because when you're sleeping in the bed, you want the sheet to actually be able to come up all the way over you. Then I've got the blanket that's layered in here, and I've actually folded that. When I sleep, I want to be able to pull that up, but when I'm fixing the bed, I want to be able to reveal this layer that's here. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of fold that sheet right over the blanket and create a nice little crisp fold that's super easy to just simply maintain. And usually what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll just tuck it in, because I really like a more hotel style. I like things to be really crisp, and that's really easy for me to do in the morning. Now we're moving down to the duvet. So it's really important that when you put the duvet on, you need to be able to take it all the way up to the top, right? Because you're gonna be sleeping with it and it needs to reach all the way over you, or else somebody like me is gonna be freezing to death. But in order to make the bed look really designer and really elevated, what I'll do is I will take it and I will fold it all the way down to the bottom of the bed and get that nice and neat. You can see I've got the sheet and the blanket. Then I'm gonna take the end and I'm gonna pull it right back up. And so what I've done is I really only have the bare essentials on this bed, but I've made it look really layered and really sophisticated because I've got just this little bit right here, and we're just gonna look at that. I mean, it's so simple. So now I'm gonna do the other side. One final layer that I really love to be able to add to the bed is an extra little blanket. This one is from Boll brand. This is their alpaca window pane throw. And oh my goodness, what I love about this, I've definitely used big, hefty blankets on the bed, but sometimes it can be almost too heavy on you. So what I love is that you can have a beautiful throw that you don't need to use. Like for my husband, he wouldn't sleep with this. It would be decor for him. But for me, because I'm always cold, I always like to have an extra blanket on the bed. So what's fun about when you have an extra throw blanket like this one is made of alpaca wool, and it's extraordinary. It's got that fringing on it. It's got that little subtle pattern. It's in this gorgeous creamy kind of taupe color. It's stunning. This is literally a piece that you keep your whole life. It's one that you pass down to the grandkids. It's that kind of quality. It truly is heirloom quality. And the amazing thing about a blanket like this is you can use it in so many different ways, but you can also sleep with it at night. Alpaca wool is such a warm material, but as you can see, it's very, very thin. And that's the beauty of it, is that you don't have to have lots of bulky items on the bed. Especially as we're moving towards the spring, I'm like, okay, I want it to look lighter, but I'm still cold, okay? So I need some layers that look light and airy, but are actually really warm. So that's what I like about this. My husband would definitely not use this to sleep with, but I am sleeping with it, and I think it's extraordinary. Now, what's fun about a blanket is that if you want to create a designer look with a blanket, you could use it a couple different ways. So let's say you want to have a little bit more of a casual look, right? We could undo this and just kind of throw it over the bed right here. And this will just kind of help the bed to just feel a little bit more casual, a little bit more approachable. This is definitely something that I would do in my own home. It's definitely something that I would do in my clients' homes. I just think that it just feels chic and yet cozy. I find so often that that is what my clients are really looking for. They want something that's comfy and feels like home. And that's what I love about being able to kind of give myself really a hotel style, but then taking things like this and really just adding that sort of hominess to it. The other thing that I do is that I will also fold it. I'll also put it on the bench down at the end. Sometimes I will also just fold them and just neatly place them. A lot of times it depends on my client's personality, because some people like for things to be a little bit more casual. Some people are looking for something more structured. So that's where your personality and your signature style really comes out of this, is which way do you really like it? Or maybe you mix it up from day to day. Okay, we're way down here and I'm like, oh, can you see my workout, my weights down there? You might be able to see them. I like to hide my weights underneath the bed. I don't think that's a designer hack. That's just me. I like to work out in my bedroom. It's just where I prefer to work out. And I'm able to hide them on my side of the bed where anybody that comes in the room would really never see them. So you guys are getting to see the underside of my bed. Isn't that fascinating? But one of the things that I am always trying to think through when I'm setting a bed for a client is, am I going to leave it untucked, or am I going to tuck everything in? So I know that I'm definitely going to tuck these top layers because I want to keep that neat and tidy. But when it comes to these bottom layers, I kind of have a couple choices, and I'm always thinking that through based off of the formality of the room, based off of my client's lifestyle. A lot of it comes down to the style of the bed. So like I'm gonna put this probably back over the bench, although I could have it, I think that's another thing. It's like, okay, this is pretty, the bed itself looks pretty formal, so I might leave that untucked to just add a little bit of informalness to it. You could also just take the blanket and just kind of throw it here, and it would be, you have to kind of think through. It's kind of like an outfit. Are you going to tuck everything, or are you going to tuck one or two things? That's just kind of how I think about it. So I might tuck all of that under and have one thing that's sloppy. It's not sloppy, it's casual. It's casual wear. Or I might take this because I've got this incredible boucle down here. Oh, I know this is my new bed that I'm like freaking out over. So I might take this and take all that and just tuck that under. And it definitely makes it feel, I think, just a little bit more put together. Sometimes I'll take this and I'll tuck that as well. Then you are definitely creating more work for yourself. Oh, but it's not really that much extra work, because you just kind of neatly kind of tuck it in there. And then the only thing you're really tucking is you'll tuck the duvet when you tuck the sheet. And all of that looks really, really neat and tidy. So you can see how I've created something that's really clean lined and really, you know, more chic. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily more formal, it's more tailored. That's the right word. It's a more tailored look. If you prefer for a more casual look, we can literally take all of this and untuck all of it. Leave it all hanging out. Because I know that sometimes the easiest thing is to have to do as little as possible. So what you can do is, instead of even trying to get all of that so neat and tidy, you can actually just come through and kind of accordion this guy. and just leave it. And it's like, it's literally just waiting for you to climb into it. So, yeah, and then, oh, and let's not forget, we're gonna take the blanket. I'm out of breath. Who would have thought I'd get a second workout today? They'll take the blanket and just kind of throw it in here and really just create a sort of messy, comfy, cozy. I think if it was me, I would have to make this so perfectly messy that I could never do it. I'm just so much of like clean lines, that sort of architectural feel, that I think that I would be like, no, not like this. Oh no, no, like this. When we had our home, when we lived in Copenhagen, and it was photographed for the magazines, they literally took like 30, 45 minutes setting the bed and creating the layers. And I remember looking at that and thinking, that looks amazing in the photos, but who has time for that? So if you're really good with messiness, you could just kind of fluff it up and mess it up and be good to go. But for me, I think I'll be sticking with the super structured, tailored look. It's just for me. But I did want to show you how you could definitely create a designer look if that isn't your thing, because that's where the fun comes in. It's your signature style. It's your signature bedroom. It's that space where you're coming home to, and it's all so important. Well, that's about all the time that we have for today. I did want to mention one final thing, which is that if you are in Europe, and I think a lot of places around the world, you would typically put the duvet on the base. So it's very American, and you guys, I would love to hear from you guys. I know you literally come from all parts of the world, so I would really love to hear what's like kind of like typical for your country or your area, because I find that so fascinating. As you guys know, we lived overseas for 12 years. We lived in all different places, and I love all these little cultural nuances that help you to create a home and kind of form the way that you do things. So when we got to Europe, I remember thinking, where are the top sheets? We went to the store when we first got to Spain. This was literally 20 years ago. And we literally landed, and the first thing we had to do was go buy linens, right? We have to fix up a house. We have a whole house we've got to get put together. So we're at the store, and we were looking everywhere for top sheets. And we bought 2 fitted sheets thinking maybe we didn't understand what the packaging said, which was very likely since our Spanish wasn't that great. But then we were like so confused. We're like, we didn't understand. So we ended up asking our family to send sheet sets to us. I can't believe we asked for such a silly thing, right? But we asked them to send us sheet sets because we were so accustomed to having a flat sheet between ourselves and the duvet and the other blankets and layers that we were just weirded out by it. The funny thing is that our kids were all raised abroad. So when we went over there 20 years ago, our daughter was literally just a baby, and she's grown up overseas. Literally all four. I only have 3 kids. I only have 3 kids. I think of my husband as like a 4th child. I mean, he sometimes is more work than than the actual kids, but you know, I think about them, and they literally, all 3 of them cannot stand to have a flat sheet on their bed. So the way that I've got it set where the blanket is on the bottom would irritate them. They would hate it to be like that. So for them, I always put the duvet on the bottom, and then I would put the bed blanket, that gorgeous chevron, I'd have that over the end of the bed. So that's another completely different way that would look so designer and so beautiful and totally layered up. But we didn't even get to that one today. So there's always these little things that I think are a lot of fun to be able to just create your bed. And if you get tired of it, you can, when you buy something like these Boll and Branch pieces, they will literally last you a lifetime. So other than if you decide you just want to add an extra color to what you already have, you can take the pieces that you already own and just keep mixing them and keep restyling them in different ways to keep them feeling interesting. I get bored easily, as you guys probably have figured out. I like to change things a lot. So for those of you that are a little bit more like me and you thrive in change and you thrive experimenting, take what you already have and just keep mixing it up. Mix it up. Occasionally, maybe you might want to add a sheet set to have like a different season or a different colorway in for a different feel in your space. But if you're one of those people that just likes it to be the same for a really long time, that's what this is really for. And I think that's what's so great. And so that's why we're very excited to partner up with Boll and Branch. Again, I will make sure to leave all the details for the items that we feature today and that discount code. I'll make sure to leave all of that down in the description box. But yeah, it's getting kind of close to coffee time, and I am definitely craving some caffeine. So I'm like, or I could just take a nap. I mean, I'm like right here by my bed. Yeah. That's gonna be a hard decision. What would you do? Nap or coffee? Thank you guys so much for stopping in. You guys know that we just love to be able to find that joy in creating your home. We love to be a part of that with you. We love to be able to share from our own space. It is definitely more personal because this is our home. And that's why I think it's so important that you have that space for yourself, that you share and you create for yourself. And yeah, I just love it. So I hope you do too. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.